It had been a very long day for the 41 men and 38 women who had to return to the venue in Hamburg for the Repechage races at the World Super Sprint Championships. But finishing the top 5 and salvation would be at hand in the shape of a place in the finals the following day. In the first men's Repechage, it was Brock Hole of Canada out first out the water, as he had been in the heat earlier in the day. And there was a 3-man breakaway. Mark Devey, Hamburg of Germany and Repechage of Hungary. They came into T2 with a reasonable advantage, and it was Repechage who strode away, making a real statement of intent. In the end, Priester was first across the line, the German. Not that it mattered, 5th as good as first in this format in the Repechage race. Lascelles also qualifying, along with McElroy. Up to Almuda there as well. The big casualties, Pearson and Schomburg, who had to serve a time penalty. On to the second men's Repechage race. Just 300 metres to swim. And it was Dylan McCulloch of New Zealand and Henry Schoeman of South Africa who were prominent in the water. So important transition in this form of the sport. Lose a few seconds there and you're in real trouble. McCulloch soon dropped Schoeman, but the pack was closing in on the Kiwi and his lead was whittled down to just a few seconds when they came into transition, and then the runners came to the fore. Henry Schoeman, Sagiv Israel, who was prominent but didn't realise he had a time penalty to serve. He had to duck across the course near the end, and those 10 seconds effectively cost him a place in the finals. Wurtz was first across the line to the delight of the home crowd. Schoeman finishing very safely inside the top 5. We'll see him again tomorrow. Wurtz, Schoeman, Stauffenberg, brilliant effort from the Kiwi. Roberto Sanchez and Seth Ryder of the States. On to the women's first Repechage race, and no question who was going to be the star in the water. Vitória Lopes of Brazil, a sensational swimmer, just wonderful in the water, and she was way clear of her nearest pursuer, coming out in just shy of 4 minutes. A few got stood up actually, including Kira Hedgeland. Emma Jackson some way off the pace at this stage, but she would have a part to play, as you'll see later. Lottie Miller drove the large chasing pack and managed to catch the leaders comfortably. So they came into T2 in a fairly large group. And there was an early statement of intent on the run from the Belgian, Jolien Vermeulen, who suddenly charged way clear. The big story, though, was Emma Jackson from miles off the pace, finishing comfortably inside the top 5 in the end. Under-23 world champion, way back in 2010, well worth a smile. Vermeulen, clamped Jackson, Moore and Rueda, the qualifiers. So, to the final women's Repechage. Summer Rappaport was the big name here. Only a problem with her shoe in transition earlier in the day stopped her from qualifying as of right, but she was first out the water despite being bumped and barged in the swim. Gwen Jorgensen, the 37-year-old, had a good swim, only 8 seconds adrift, but Rappaport with a seamless transition, and she was away first on the bike. And a group of 7 that included the likes of Lena Meisner and Van Koeveren had themselves a decent advantage. Gwen Jorgensen at this point was some 20 seconds back. What could she do about it? Well, as you'll see, plenty. No problems with the shoes this time for Rappaport. She was just where she wanted to be, but look at Jorgensen. From a way off the pace, running through women to get herself into a spot in the top 5, and actually improved even from that point. 4th across the line in the end. A brilliant performance from the double world champion out of triathlon for 7 years. Rappaport, Hauser, Meisner, Van Koeveren and astonishingly Jorgensen, the qualifiers. Battle resumes in the finals tomorrow.